So when is it a good time to buy a stock? So I'm going to start this video a little bit more aggressive than I normally do because I want to make sure that I get a point across. If you're asking that question, if you're searching for people to tell you where you should buy, where you should sell, and where you should potentially cut losses, in my opinion, you are not ready to trade. When it comes down to professional athletes and people in their professions that make money doing what it is that they do you see people like Steph Curry asking his coach if it's time for him to do a layup or if he should shoot a three-pointer? No, it is all based off of understanding and the opportunity that is presented to you. And although I agree that that is probably one of the worst analogies anyone can ever give you, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because when you are learning how to trade, your focus should be to learn, not necessarily to make money. Making money is something that follows and that comes later. And if you are not someone that can dedicate time to actually learn and understand what it is that you are doing, then I think that you are missing the point in practicing when you are getting started. And the reason that I'm making this video is we're getting so many people. I don't know if it's just me, but I have picked up on this kind of like trend that is going on for the past 2 months. There's been craziness going on with the stock market, and people are just having such a big focus right now on a lot of pump and dumps, hype stocks, and overall just momentum stocks. And unfortunately, a lot of them do not understand what they're getting themselves into. And what I'm here to clear up is I had a couple people ask me, Ricky, what do I think about Workhorse, WKHS? It pushed up to highs of nearly $23 and it pulled back down to lows of 16. Do you think it's time for me to cut losses? What's going on? I thought this thing was going to the moon, right? The same thing with people now talking about ticker symbol NIO. There's just so many of these, right? They almost come in stages. I don't want to call Nikola a pump and dump at all. That's not what I'm calling it. But how it pushes up super aggressively, and of course, it corrects itself. I'm also going to touch on the idea of Tesla. What I'm here to remind you, at least from my experience, you can let me know in the comment section, both either on the fundamental side or on the technical side, right? It's all dependent on how it is that you personally trade. I'm not here to tell you how to trade. All I'm here is to share from my experience that when something pushes up, especially within a very short period of time, just like when all of this hype is happening, when it's, obviously picking up volume, you can see that it had its normal volume over here. And then right now we're at like 100x of what its normal volume is. And you are surprised, although it pushed up nearly 400% within a very short period of time, it comes to you at a surprise that it pulls back and it drops nearly 40% in just a couple of days. Does that really surprise you? If something pushes up over 400%, and that it pulls back 40% or that it pulls back in general, does that really surprise you? That just showcases to me that you are not informed on what it is that you are doing. This does not come as a surprise, especially with short-lived momentum stocks. There's almost been this trend right now with hype stocks, momentum stocks, pump and dumps. I don't even want to label them because people get so offended, and I'm not here to offend any of you, but I'm so tired of the comment of like, where should I buy? Where should I sell? Do you think it's time for me to cut losses? This is all something that should have been premeditated and planned before you actually took the trade. With Workhorse, the next, or the very popular one, if I'm not mistaken right now, is ticker symbol NIO. Everyone is just talking about this one. Everyone is just hyping it up. And you can see its normal volume. Again, I'm not calling this a pump and dump. I'm not calling this a momentum stock. I'm not here to offend you. All I'm saying is that there is so much hype behind NIO as of right now. It is a very relevant and trendy stock. And what I'm here to remind you is when something goes up exponentially within a very short period of time, a pullback or a correction should not come as a surprise. So now that we are done talking about NIO and WKHS or whatever that is, right? Let's talk about Tesla. Let's talk about Tesla, and let's be honest. Tesla is super overextended. Can it continue to uptrend? Of course, just like any pump and dump or any momentum stock or any hype stock can continue to rally. I'm not saying Tesla is any of those things. All I'm saying is that when it pushes up, again, exponentially, the same idea within a very short period of time, almost in all of its history, when it pushes up exponentially, it corrects itself. It doesn't mean that it's going to be super significant, but all I'm here to remind you is understand the position that you are putting yourself in. understand and have a plan. So if things begin to go south, it doesn't come to you as a surprise that like, well, what the heck? Where did this come from? Really? Really? You're going to be surprised when Tesla goes from sub 1,000 to 1,400. 45% growth within a week. You're going to be surprised that it pulls back to maybe 1,200, that it pulls back to 1,100. I'm not saying that it's going to. This thing can hit $2,000 a share for all I care. We haven't even hit battery day. You know, there's so much that goes into what drives a stock's rally, right? And every single stock and every single opportunity is different, but there are some form of catalyst. The point that I'm trying to get across is how important it is to understand the position that you are putting yourself in. Every single time that you open a position, every single time that you take a trade, you are agreeing to the terms of whatever opportunity is presented towards you, right? So one of the examples that I want to give you is when it comes down to TQs and SQs, right? I've been following /NQ. I've been following TQs because when the market or NASDAQ goes up, so does TQs. So today I had a little bit of a red day. $373 is what I lost. And am I going to blame someone for this pullback? No, pullbacks are going to happen. And if anything, this is in the very early stages of a much larger pullback because it happens from time to time. Nothing just shoots up and then stays up there. It pushes up, pulls back, 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 pushes up. And then all of a sudden when this thing begins to pull back, are you really going to ask the question, well, what the heck, Ricky? Why is this pulling back? Really? Really? Like, it's so mind-boggling that you are someone that is so eager to make money, yet you're so unwilling to get informed. I put myself in a position where I take advantage of opportunities that make sense. A goal is something to work towards, not something that you have to hit every single day. And what did I say in today's earlier video? I do agree. /NQ and TQs is super overbought. I am waiting for TQs to sell off because I am eager to take a position on SQs if that reversal ends up confirming itself. But I'm also not going to enter before that confirmation. So I see the opportunity, I understand both sides, and I'm trying to stay patient. I'm aware. So if I take a loss, I'm not here to blame anyone. If I make a profit, I'm not here to thank anyone. It is all based off of my understanding on the opportunities that I choose to take advantage of. Let's get to the main point of this video. When you are someone that is taking advantage of something like Workhorse, because of all the hype, of all the news, of all the people that are sharing with you of how amazing this specific company is and how it's going to go to the moon. And when it pushes up exponentially and all of a sudden the shift or the demand or the hype ends up going elsewhere, and then this thing ends up pulling back and you get caught at the very top. So you are someone that is closed-minded enough to only think that this thing is going to go up hundreds of percent within a very short period of time, and you are surprised that it pulls back 50%. I've said from the very beginning, I am not someone that trades penny stocks. I am also not someone that is here to deter you from that. If you are someone that wants to take advantage of penny stocks, lower cap stocks, momentum stocks, pump and dumps, hype stocks, all power to you. I know people can make money doing anything. That's not the point. You need to be aware of both sides. You need to be aware of the risk reward. The upside is not the only thing you should ever take into consideration. If you are a one-sided trader, you are one red trade away from literally giving back all the profits you've made. So if you are someone, in my experience, that wants to be able to consistently grow your trading account, you need to always take into consideration the downside as well. If you are someone that wants to partake on these high reward opportunities, don't be surprised when it offers or comes at a great form and high risk. So although I did take a little red trade, one of the things that, again, I'm very excited for is, I had a $400 day yesterday and a $700 day on Thursday. And this is only the beginning, right? That was just me scalping TQs as it was still bullish, as NASDAQ was still bullish. But if this actually begins to pull back and correct itself, then it wouldn't be a surprise if I have a couple $1,000 days as NQs pulls back. But guess what? I am aware of what's going on right now, and I'm going to wait for confirmation, and I'm only going to take advantage of an opportunity that makes sense to me. I'm weighing out my upside just as much as I'm weighing out my downside, which is the main reason on why I'm not in SQs as of right now. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. Do your part as a trader and as you're learning how to trade to not just focus on one side, the making profit. Anyone can make money in the stock market. It's about how you manage your risk and knowing when to call it quits and cutting losses to keep those losses small. So I really hope that you learned something new in this video. If you did, I hope that we earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to stay connected. We do run the largest Facebook group in the world for those who trade in the stock market with over 283,000 members, and that is that first link down below. A friendly reminder, we just released our new wall art, which are a series of flags. They're $19. The Wall Street Bull is back with a couple other designs, and my favorite one is this Monopoly Wall Street flag. So feel free to check that out with the third link down below. I appreciate you guys' time. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.